So what would you do to protect yourself? You're saying people want you dead. What was it?
It's just begging it, protection.
I'm Jermaine Genus, ex-footballer and pundit, and I'm going to explore the rise in knife crime that's devastating lives across our nation.
Tributes have been paid to a 15-year-old boy who was stabbed to death outside
A
his...
17-year-old died from a stab wound to the heart.
A knife or blade was used in a crime every 16 minutes.
2 teenagers have been seriously injured in a suspected stabbing in Nottingham last night.
Although knife crime is a problem across the UK, there's been a spike in Nottingham, where I was born and bred.
We're seeing more severe stab wounds.
He's killed on video, didn't that?
I know people that have been stabbed meters away from my house, and our community doesn't really exist.
I care about my city, so I've come back to find out why there's been a rise in knife crime here.
This is how it all ends up. Somebody losing a son, a friend. It creates hate.
I want to see what can be done to stop the violence and the killing. Football changed my life. It gave me incredible opportunities. I played for Premiership clubs in my country, all around the world. For me, that journey began here, in my hometown, Nottingham.
You hear about knife crime, I think until you physically see it, that's when it hits you. And I remember going into the barber shop, and I used to park my car just like around the corner. I saw this guy who was literally just squatted down in an alleyway. He had a balaclava on. 4 or 5 of them kind of rushed around the corner. They wanted my jewellery, they had weapons on them. And obviously your immediate reaction is just that you're stiffing up, you're gonna fight, but you just can't, you're helpless. It was scary because you feel like you have an element of control. You've made it from a tough area to go and play for your club. I mean, I captained Forest when I was like 17. There's a respect level that you get from that. You walk around the city, grown men respect you, young kids look up to you. That just completely neutralised it. All of a sudden, you're nobody again because, you know, these people that are carrying these weapons, they got no respect for anybody. And that was the time where I properly fell out of love with Nottingham. I grew up in Clifton, which is way down there somewhere in the distance, but robbery was the thing. You know, but that robbery has now turned into murders. I didn't come from the privileged position that I'm in now. It was me and my mum, and you know, there was times where bailiffs come knocking on the door, but I was fortunate to have good friends, good family.
So when you go around to interview people, will they have knives on them? Have you know?
Probably. I want to see what these guys are just like. Do they just roll around and just be like, yeah, I got a knife?
Do I need to be worried about this?
I'm hoping, to be fair, that there's a level of respect for somebody like myself, being from Nottingham, who's prepared to take an interest in what they're doing. Because I personally think it only ends in a couple of ways, and none are good.
Yeah, that's
Jail
true.
or death.
Yeah. As a parent, to think that your child is going to go out and that might happen, really, really scary to me.
This fear has become a reality for some.
I feel so heartbroken when I come up here to the cemetery and I look at my child. I always say, why?
Trisha's son died from a knife attack after being robbed only yards from their front door.
This must be tough.
Very. You know, my son was only 27 years of age. And I really, really miss him. And he shouldn't be here. You know, I have been robbed of so many things. Grandchildren, love and, all the sort of things that a family would do. He was a DJ. And he would always play the music so loud upstairs. 2 brothers fighting. Yeah. I miss that. The house is so quiet.
It's the simple things of...
The simple
having
things.
2 sons grow up together.
Exactly. He wasn't in any fighting, he wasn't in any gangs, he wasn't dealing, he was an innocent party in what happened to him.
Yeah, I'm a parent, I've got 3 girls luckily enough, and just the thought sort of go through your head of what this must be like for you to have to stand here when he was taken so young.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't bring myself to even contemplate, to be honest with you.
No. There's so many mothers out there who is going through the same thing. It's got to stop.
I smoked grade as a young gun, now my mind ceased to function proper. I walk with my hand on a chopper, thinking I could easily stick my knife in your windpipe.
Can you give me a reason as why there's been such a rise in knife crime in Nottingham?
I dug out a stat that showed that 1 in every 25 crimes across Nottingham involved a knife. And I think what that shows is that there's almost this culture of carrying a knife across the city.
Ben is a former Nottingham crime journalist who has reported on knife attacks across the city.
Every time we made that call to the police, they'd say, it's a knife crime incident. It's a stabbing, it's a slashing, it's a threatening with a knife. You speak to communities and you realise how scared people are in their own homes that this is happening on their streets. This used to be BZR, it's now been shut down. One of the reasons it got shut down was this particular incident. 2 sets of punters have fallen out. One turns around and hits the other one with a bottle. As he's being removed by the bouncers, the guy who's been hit by the bottle stabs the bouncer in the back.
What was the sentence that they got?
I believe he got 4 years in the end, which I don't think the victims were entirely happy about.
Well, you wouldn't be, would you? I mean, you've been stabbed in the back by a knife when you're trying to, well, just do your job.
So we're right in the centre of town. Saturday night, this place would be absolutely heaving with people just
I
out
used to
here.
be one of them,
yeah.
So I know exactly what you're on about. Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is also the scene where Joshua Bradley, who was 19, lost his life when a dispute got out of hand and guy ends up with a fatal stab wound. The police records say that the man who stabbed him, he was actually bragging about holding a knife. Often, it's petty disputes that lead to bigger issues, so they escalate. And we've got to be fair, it's young lads, anything from 14, even younger, through to about 25, who are involved in 99% of these incidents.
After weeks of negotiation, I've managed to get a meeting with a schoolboy who carries a knife.
I feel like I'm just going to look in their eyes and it's just going to be just hate. And then how do you get that back?
Chris, not his real name, will only meet me at a secret location with his identity concealed.
Are you in a gang?
No, I'm not in no gangs, just got a close group of friends.
It's a
It's
close.
called 9 Brethrens, innit?
Yeah.
If you touch 9 Brethren, then I'm going to touch you, innit?
Do you feel more confident, like when you've got your knife on you?
I feel like Superman.
You feel like Superman?
Yeah, I know that I could do damage to someone, and I know that I can defend myself.
Have you got one on you now?
Oh, I've got one still.
Can we see it?
I see it still. Can't you see it? You get better, innit?
Where we are now, you must feel safe. What about if you dipped into like the city centre?
If I did that, I've got to carry a shank.
You have to.
Period, yes.
Why is that?
First of all, I can't see someone that I've got a problem with and not do nothing to them. That's got to make me look like a bitch, innit? If I don't do nothing to them, they're going to do something to me. So it's either eat or be eaten, innit?
You know, you're having to walk around with a knife. Have you used it? Have you stabbed somebody before?
Yeah, stab man's store and then walking away, cool. All of that, thinking, oh yeah, shit, I just stabbed someone for the first time.
And have you been stabbed yourself?
I've been shanked a couple of times, just like there, innit?
Right in the rib.
Hospital for a weekend.
So you did go to hospital?
Yeah, quite a long time still.
Would you have faith that if you'd have told the police that they would have found him and done something about it?
I ain't no snitch, so I won't tell the police.
Where did it start? What triggered it?
A beef has escalated just after talking. He's decided to bring arms to me, so obviously I had to back myself. So, not going to stop. And then if I put him in hospital,
then it's going to carry on.
He's going to want to put me back in hospital.
So from that moment, you decided, that's it, I'm carrying.
I would love to have a fist-to-fist fight with the shoot. But I can't, innit? Because he's not going to want to have a fist-to-fist fight with me back. And if I roll up to him with my fist out and he pulls out a knife, what do? I'm not going to run away and look like a pussy.
How did you get hold of this knife?
All I've got to do is just go downstairs and open the top drawer. It's big. So that's touching man's organs, innit?
So it's what? Touching man's organs?
Yeah.
So it's not just a harming situation, you're doing it to kill?
It's kill or be killed, innit? Like, if I kill man, I kill them, but they just need to be taught a lesson.
What would a lesson area be?
Right in their torso.
Right in the torso?
Right in their torso.
What scares me is that you're the next generation. You're saying words like, this is it, you know, it's kill or be killed, basically, it's just, this is the end type thing. And at your age, you shouldn't be thinking like that.
If I die today, next year, the only person that's going to remember me is my mum. I can tell you that now.
It was scary to see the mindset of someone so young, prepared to just lose everything, lose his life. There was nothing that was going to stop him, and all this started from an argument. I mean, we all had arguments at school. Everyone had arguments at school, but didn't get stabbed because of it.
After hearing about Chris's deadly feud with his rival, I wanted to find out about the damage that was being done with knives. I've come to the Queen's Medical Centre, Nottingham, one of the biggest and busiest trauma centres in the UK.
We're seeing more severe stab wounds. Attempted maiming, so trying to divide a nerve so the leg doesn't work, or even an abdominal stab wound, which we may end up having to bring the bowel out onto the surface into a bag, into a stoma. That's life-changing for people. We've had a few where we've still had the knife in situ, and we have to work around that. We can't pull that knife out down here. Is it actually squashing a blood vessel so it's not bleeding? If we pull it out here, will it suddenly start to bleed an awful lot?
I was talking to a young fella called Chris. Carries a knife, openly uses it. And one of the things he said to me was, he doesn't always stab to kill. And I was like, well, what are you aiming for when you say you don't stab to kill? And the first thing he said was the torso.
If you stab someone in the torso, you have a significant chance of severe damage to somebody, either killing them, if you stab anywhere near the heart, permanently maiming them, requiring them to have major surgery, or dividing a big blood vessel. So this is a CT scan, and this is a kid, a teenager, came in not very long ago. Can you see this? That line?
Yeah.
That's the track of the knife. This is one of the big blood vessels. This blood vessel carries 1.5 litres of blood a minute. End of the knife's here. That's where the knife went.
And it hit that vessel?
Hit that vessel. What you can't see is it went through that vessel and went into the other vessel that sits behind it. That carries 4 or 5 litres of blood a minute. That's the result of stabbing a torso.
What's the youngest you've had to deal with?
Teenagers, the 13, 14-year-olds who are, unfortunately, involved in stuff that you just wish that they weren't anywhere near at that age. We still think we're bomb-proof and bulletproof when we're young. Psychologically, it affects some people big time, but other people will just say, oh, fine, look at me, I got stabbed and I got on with it, and I'm going back out there. Hence, the repeat people who've been stabbed more than once. Most of the people who are coming in with stab wounds are either drug-related or gang-related. And we do have, quite often support with police around if there is a real or imminent threat.
An underworld fixer has arranged for me to meet with 3 gang members. I was nervous, but I needed to meet them to find out about the weapons they used and the gangs in the city. first thing I asked was about the gang feuds across Nottingham.
There is definitely strong rivalries around the city, from certain areas to areas. You've got Radford, Meadows, St Anne's and a couple of other areas that have got reputations of being rough areas.
How old was you when you first started carrying knives?
14, 15. Me, self, as an individual carrying a knife has come from my fear of what someone might do to me, so do something to them first. All you have to get is a hint of danger, and I'll attack straight away. I won't be no waiting about to see if this person's going to attack me first. You know what I'm saying? You start to survive. There's people that want your dad. You know, it's life.
So what would you do to protect yourself? You're saying people want you dead. What was it?
Character, you know. It's just big, innit? Protection.
So I mean, this is for you, literally. Like, you class it as your protection. You pulled it out. People getting scared, obviously. You must have been in situations where you've had to use it.
Yeah, just walking around the line, just carrying my drugs, trying my money, doing my thing. They jumped out the car, and there's 5 of them, I can't do nothing. They filled me and then they obviously took my shit. Obviously, I've seen one of them, like, 3 or 4 days later, and I just stabbed him, innit? Just on the gun, like.
And you feel that's give you more respect now where you're from?
Yeah, walk around the block, I've seen a couple of people, but nobody wants to chat to me. It's respect, because they don't want to talk to me about it, calling them madman, you get me? I'll chop them onto the fast, and don't watch them, you get me? It's life, innit? It's life. I'm not trying to die on these roads, you know.
Do you feel like somebody's literally wants to...
24/7 for them. Yeah, please. This is just my safety tool, innit? You wouldn't leave the house without clothes, so this is like the same thing. You feel naked. One time, someone's come to my house, knock on my door, and try to bottle me. See, now I got to pull outside and chase him out the road and chop him at the bus station. Revenge is the biggest thing. I mean, sometimes it's hard not to take revenge. I didn't choose this. I was born in this. You know what I mean? From day dot, I've seen things where it just became normal for me to grow up and do these sort of things myself. If you're a kid, yeah, and you see someone come into your house and put a shit on the table, you're an adult, it's not abnormal to you. You've seen that as a kid. So why is that going to shock you in any way?
Have you lost any friends through basically this life?
I've lost quite a few friends, yeah. I had one close friend to me who was murdered in school days. It definitely affected my perspective going forward after that. You see, the more friends I lose, it makes me more hard-headed. I begin to lock off from certain things.
If you could get out, would you get out?
Yeah, if I could, it would be hard me. I can't believe it, if we left this life right now and stopped carrying a tool, someone who is carrying a tool, they're still going to come for us, because their beef had dropped with us, our beef might drop with them, but it's not the way around, is it? And obviously all of us through here, we've all been through the system. The system don't work. I mean the court system, I mean the prison system, I don't really think it's designed to rehabilitate like it's supposed to. We just put back out on the streets and the exact same problems and the exact same places, you know what I'm trying to say?
So why is it you think knife crime is so high in Nottingham?
The kids that are younger who are carrying the knives, making rash moves, stabbing each other. You got school kids killing each other. Just want to prove themselves to the elders, you know what I mean, to get in with their clique. Once you get caught or you do something really bad, you kill somebody, this is going to change your life forever. I'm trying to say there's no going back on that. 90% of kids here, 17 and under here, the average knife is one that got out of the mum's kitchen drawer here. You know, got a proper knife. And when they go to stab someone, they probably bends or slaps or goes somewhere where it shouldn't go. People die. People don't know what they're doing anyway.
I know I speak from a privileged position as an ex-footballer, but I'm realising that some of these youngsters are a product of their environment and can feel they need to use violence in order to survive.
I'm not sure we are doing enough to not just get the knives off the streets, but once some of them have been caught with knives, they felt like there was a golden moment, a golden point where they thought, I want to change and, you know, I want to be different. And nobody was there for them. We wasn't there for them. And it's that moment where they just go, well, I might as well go back to doing what I was doing before because I know at least my crew or my people, they're going to be there for me.
I wanted to see what help was available to stop kids from carrying knives.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about knife crimes. I just want to talk to you about...
Baz is a former gang member who managed to get out. For him, the solution isn't prison. It's educating the young before the problem starts.
If like you get into a fight with knives, it only takes one hit to your life is gone.
Yeah, for someone not to get stabbed in the space of a week is a rare thing. I know people that have been stabbed meters away from my house, and our community doesn't really exist.
After the school session, Baz told me how his boxing career was cut short in his youth, following a knife attack.
I'm coming out of a club, man just like kind of surrounded me. I pulled this cleaver out. I want your watch, I want this, that and the other, and it was my dad's watch, you know what I mean? And my dad had just passed away from a stroke. So I went, nah, you're not having it. So he just went like that with a cleaver. It was coming from my head. And I put my hands up like this and it just went straight through that hand, man. And then he went again. I went there, it went straight through my hand there, do you know what I mean? I'm looking at my hands and my hands are like hanging off, man. You know what I mean? There's blood gushing out. I thought I could box again, but you know, unfortunately, every time I was hitting a bag, my hands would just swell up again, you know what I mean? And I was in a dark place, man. I had people phoning me up and saying, yo, you need to deal with this. I've got to make an example of him and this, that and the other. And there's a lot of peer pressure going off there. And you know, for a young person to have to deal with all that is hard, man. And it's easy to make the wrong decision. What we've done is we've put satellite boxing clubs like this one across areas of deprivation in Nottingham, especially the rival areas that tend to have, you know, issues with each other. Meadows, St Anne's and Radford, you know what I mean? Then they can integrate the kids from all three clubs through competition. By the time they get to an age where they could have any kind of rivalry or altercation, they're friends. We need to get out there, like we were there today, and educate these kids around it, you know what I mean? And stop them carrying knives, man, because they're losing their lives.
What do we do once these people have maybe served their time? They might have completely changed whilst they've been inside, or they might not have. The bottom line is when they do come back into society, what type of person have we got? And then what do we do with them?
You've got people that might be in gangs who've got a criminal record coming out of prison, and they need to re-engage in society. We give them support which helps them with CVs, volunteering, social skills, life skills. Will help them into employment, training and education. What we want to do is give people a route out.
Talking to Baz got me thinking about Chris, the schoolboy knife user. I wanted to meet him again. On my way, I heard there had been a double killing in another part of the city.
2 men, believed to be friends, have been stabbed to death within 24 hours of one another in Nottingham. The second man had been hosting a party in memory of the first victim when he was killed.
Sad. I mean, seriously sad. It's literally just happened. Brand new flowers, people visiting all the time. I mean, you can see people have been obviously having a drink to celebrate his life, but some of the notes are just like, I mean, obviously they're personal, but when you read them, they're heartbreaking. But this is the reality. This is real. You know, you can sit there and you can talk to as many people as you want. This is how it all ends up. It ends up with somebody losing a son, somebody losing a father, a friend, you know, family members, and you know, there's repercussions as well from things like this. It creates hate. When you read these, it's like, I can't believe it's happened, and we love you and we missed you. But you can imagine each and every one of these people are feeling hurt, and they feel hatred to the person that's done it.
This tragic incident made me worry what might happen to Chris if he continued his feud with his rival. I wanted to see if he was ready to change.
You know, we spoke about the beef that you had with the guy that stabbed you. Have you managed to find him, or are you still intent on finding this guy?
Still intent on finding him, innit? See they book up a time, but otherwise I'm like nothing.
But you're still intending on stabbing him back and hurting him. There's got to be another way rather than walking around with knives every single day.
No, not really.
Are you carrying again, like today?
Yeah, of course.
That's completely different to the one I saw last time.
I know.
It's got its own special case and everything. That last time just seemed like you told me it was out the top drawer of your kitchen. That's gonna do some serious damage, Chris, man. If you land that in somebody, that's it. I mean, that's your life done, that's their life done instantly. You know that, don't you?
Where's only my life done if I get caught, innit? So, gotta take the risk, innit?
Is that what you're saying still then about your life, that it's kill or be killed?
More or less.
That's killing somebody. The minute that goes in and comes out, you're dead. Are you prepared to die?
I'm prepared to die, but I just don't want to die. That's why I'm carrying a knife.
But you're prepared to die, though. You know that.
You've got to die one day, innit? So.
I've been standing outside some railings today. Flowers everywhere, balloons, candles lit, people drinking, trying to celebrate someone's life. Right? To me, I think you've got the opportunity to make a decision before that happens.
No, I get what you're saying, just how it is.
I'm wondering what's just holding you back from just making that change in your life.
Same thing that's holding back millions of other youths, innit? Just feeling the need to be protected.
I suppose all I can do, I just wish you the best of luck, and hopefully eventually you make the right decision.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
I can't help but think he's going to die. As simple as that. It's you know what I mean? You can't be walking around a street with a knife like that. And if it's not him, it's someone else. I mean, in this film, I spoke to bereaved parents. I've seen flowers and balloons on walls where people have died, and I don't know. It angers me when I see him carrying that knife, because that could be him stabbing someone's son, stabbing someone's daughter, stabbing a father. Just that blatant disregard for life pissed me off a bit, and I feel that it's he's probably one of thousands within the city. So kind of it just shows you the task at hand.